everything is done. We are closing on Adventure Cruise.
It's looking pretty ominous. The storm is kind of creeped up pretty fast. Now that we've closed on our boat, we have to navigate the logistical nightmare of getting Adventure Cruise home. In a race against time to beat the start of hurricane season, we would sail more than 1,000 nautical miles across the Gulf of Mexico to get her back home to Florida. The summer in the Gulf of Mexico is so unpredictable. But to get the best advice, we reached out to our good friend and favorite meteorologist, Justin Hobbs.
Overall, looks like a pretty good weather setup for you guys. I mean, better than what it could be. So that's some good news. Might deal with a little bit of winds. You are going to have overall fair weather. So for your pretty much entire passage, only thing you might run into is when that warm front pushes up towards Louisiana as we go into, say, late Friday into Saturday. May spawn a few showers, may see some showers form along the coastal area.
We were also lucky enough to have our good friend Jeff come with us on the passage. I like to call him MacGyver. You'll see why later.
Well, we are in Houston.
Our flight was delayed, so we got into Houston after midnight. After an hour-long Uber ride to Galveston, we made it to the boat right at 2 a.m. With engines already hot, our hired captain pulled up to the dock, we hopped on board, and took off into the dark night. The memory of this night is a blur for me. By 4 a.m., I was hugging a bucket, seasick. I curled up in the outside lounge area, and that's where I stayed for about the next 12 hours.
We are just south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. The trip is going weather-wise great. We're coming across the safety channel for Lake Charles, Louisiana, and there's a tanker going by us. We just had to alter our course just a little bit to go around them, and we've caught some really nice size jack crevalles, some of the biggest ones I've seen. We've caught 2 of them and a bonita so far, but other than that, other than Emily not feeling too great, everything's going amazing, and I'm excited to get into Grand Isle, Louisiana. Come on, be a big wahoo! 3 knots forward.
Heartbeat in the quiet, spotlight in an empty room, a song in the silence, my dreams coming to view.
It's now 3:45 on Saturday, and we had a long day yesterday. It was, for me, it was a 26-hour day straight. Did get just a few minutes on the plane to rest my eyes, but other than that, it was a long day. And, but it's been exciting. It's been nervous, or nerve-wracking, I should say.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Missy here, she got seasick last night for the first time coming out of Galveston Bay. It was rough, to say the least. We had a south wind, and it was just a washing machine. The boat was every which way, and I even felt a little queasy a few times. But after the sun came up this morning, it really kind of laid down and has been really a great day.
I see you now with you. Never be
see if the camera will adjust, but just wanted to document this is our first sunset on sailing vessel Venture Cruise. We are halfway to Grand Isles, Louisiana. We left at 2 a.m. yesterday. Or no, 2 a.m. this morning.
This morning, yeah.
Yeah, 2 a.m. this morning from Galveston, Texas. And
It's been a long day, but good.
It's been a long day. Looking a little salty.
So we sailed all throughout the night. Now in what, about 30 hours?
Yeah, we're about 30 hours on.
So we headed to Grand Isle. How many hours to Grand Isle? Will we get there by lunchtime?
Yeah, what time is it now?
It's about 6:45.
6:36 now. We'll probably be there about 1 o'clock.
Yeah. And watching the sun come up. And then sleeping outside this whole time.
Yeah, we sleep down here underneath the cockpit. It's been great. It was really nice last night cooking our first fish that we had caught on the boat. We cooked a nice big kingfish. We grilled it, staked it up and grilled it, and it was really good.
Served 5 people, and that was only half of it.
Yeah, we still have a lot of fish left.
The wind was on our bow, so we had to motor the rest of the way to Grand Isle, where we would stop for fuel. The Gulf of Mexico is home to thousands of oil and gas platforms. Navigating through the oil field is tedious and a bit intimidating for unexperienced sailors like ourselves. This is why we hired an experienced captain who's been in these waters many, many times. 345 nautical miles, and about 40 hours later, we made it to Grand Isle, Louisiana. You've made it through the first leg of our trip.
That's
We're
right.
in Grand Isle, Louisiana. You just docked the boat for the first time.
I did with
Our
the current.
boat.
Our boat.
How did that feel?
It was nerve-wracking. There was a current coming, and there's quite a few work boats for the oil rigs as well as shrimp boats. So it was interesting, and there was a crowd of people, but it worked out.
Yeah, you did it.
I had some good help, and the dock was a little sketchy too. There's some
Oh yeah, it doesn't look
some
good.
screws and everything else sticking out, so we were a little worried about that, but overall went really well.
Yeah, so now we're fueling up, getting some food, and getting back on the water to continue the trek. With about 400 nautical miles left, we got off the dock and back on our course. We motored the rest of the day and into the night. Everything was going great, but as the sun was setting, we faced our first problem. Our starboard engine went out as we were nearing the mouth of the Mississippi. We contemplated turning around and going back to Grand Isle, try to fight the current up the Mississippi River with one engine, or stay on course.
All right, well, we're back up and running after 3.5 hours of only having one motor. The starboard motor was having a heart attack. The main fuel line was clogged, and thankfully there's a secondary fuel line, so we were able to hook that up to the primary filter, and once we figured it out, we were able to get going pretty quick. So we're back up and running, Unfortunately, the wind is directly at our nose, so we are motoring into the wind with both motors and only running about 6.5 knots. So kind of a little slow going, but much better with 2 engines instead of 1. All right, so we were just motoring here, motor sailing, and out of nowhere, this platform pretty much showed up right on our bow. Obviously, we saw it in plenty of time and were able to alter course, but did not see it on the charts, and it does not have any lights on it. It is sounding, which is great, but kind of scary. Actually, really scary.
Good morning.
Day 3 started with the perfect amount of wind to finally put up the mainsail for the first time on our journey. The wind filled our sails and we cut the engines off. It was a surreal moment.
So I'm in the forward lounge and we are under sail. We've been under sail for probably an hour now, and it's so peaceful. I've been dreaming of this day for a really long time, and we started putting this plan together, and it's crazy to think that we've done it. Like, this is our boat. We're sailing across the Gulf of Mexico right now. We'll be home in about 2 days, and I'm just so excited.
Boat life has a unique and funny way of keeping you humble.
The wind started to slow down, so we decided we would try and motor sail. Got the motors cranked up and immediately noticed there was no response out of the port motor. So, you know, first things comes to mind is the transmission. Is it going into gear? We checked that. Yeah, it's going into gear, but no response. So, of course, that leads us to the prop. And sure enough, I put the mask on, jumped in the water, and there was no prop to be found. So we are currently without a prop in the port engine. So we are back up with both the main and the head sail, as well as the starboard engine, motor sailing. I'm going to really try and ride this out as long as we can, see when this wind is going to transition. Right now we are 206 nautical miles from the mouth of the Tampa Bay shipping channel.
We motor sailed through the night with our starboard engine as we made our way closer to our target of Tampa Bay. We started to see less and less oil rigs, and we're finally breathing a sigh of relief that we safely made it out of the oil field.
Straight in, all in the moment. Out into the open.
With the wind now on our bow, we were moving slower yet burning the same amount of fuel.
We have an eastern wind coming, and we're trying to head east. So the wind's in our face, and this engine's doing all it can do. Unfortunately, it's not enough. So we've been burning a lot of fuel, and we had to try and transfer fuel from the port engine or port fuel tank to the starboard fuel tank, and come to find out that pump is no longer working. Next thing you got to do is siphon the tank. So thankfully we have 15-gallon external fuel jugs with us. We emptied those into the tank. We've now siphoned out of the port tank, which was a chore in itself.
Feels like you're watching paint dry. With the wind still on our bow and needing to top off our fuel tanks, we made the decision to pull sail and do what sailboats do best: go with the wind. We hated having to make this call as we were only 135 nautical miles from Tampa Bay. We pulled into Carabel early in the morning, topped off our tanks, and restarted our trek back south.
Are making a crossing from Carabel over to basically Cedar Key, and from Cedar Key we'll head directly south and hopefully be able to use some of that eastern wind that's coming from the coast and have it push us down to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, we're doing it.
We're doing it.
It's sinking in. This is our boat.
It's definitely sinking in. It's taking some time. But the projects have already started. We've got
a whole list. Despite the series of unfortunate events that was happening, we could not get off cloud 9 and the fact that this dream is now a reality. So it is May 31st and we are getting ready for our first real storm aboard Adventure Cruise. We've got all the hatches buttoned down, putting the isinglass down here on the cockpit. Cole's helping with that. We just took the sails down. This storm is kind of creeped up pretty fast. We've been talking with our friend Justin, one of my former co-workers, getting tracks on this storm. He's been texting us on our satellite phone. It's looking pretty ominous. We're as prepared as we can be. The track has changed a couple of times. So we were making a southeast track down toward Tampa, and now a change of course here. So we are prepared to get through this. It's pretty scary looking though. Finally, the storm passed and we motor sailed yet again into the night. We were getting so close to home and even more excited about completing this journey. All the planning, prayers, sacrifices made, all leading up to this very moment.
Lately, oh baby, I've been feeling crazy. I'm about to lose my mind. Oh, I need space, someplace I can just escape. Take a break from life for a while. Close my eyes and fly into the moon. Close my eyes and flying straight to you. Sipping bubbly by the deep blue.
We are coming into the shipping channel here at Tampa Bay. We got Egmont Key ahead of us and the Skyway. And over to the east is a nice little storm system that's been building up, and we've got a rainbow. So how about that? It's been a great trip. Certainly have learned a lot about this boat. Got a nice little punch list for it when we get home. And we are going to celebrate tonight when we get to the dock. Super excited and cannot wait for the coming weeks of having friends and family out on the boat and just really enjoying her for all her beauty. Give you a little shot of Tampa Bay. There's the entrance right there. The Egmont Key. It's all over here. And that is that's St. Pete, downtown St. Pete Beach. Or right there is the Don Cesar. And we'll go say hi to Emily. She's working right now. Hey, so do you know what's directly off of our port right now?
Skyway Bridge.
No. It's actually this hotel called the Don Caesar.
The Don Caesar!
We like to laugh about that, and it's been what was the reason for that? What was
We were passing the Don. How do you actually?
Cesar.
Cesar.
Wow.
When we first started dating on the old concept. And I remember that was the day I said, "Did you tell your mom what you told me?" And that was when you told me that you were gonna marry me, like 6 dates in.
Ah.
And that was right around the time we passed that hotel.
Oh yeah, that's right. We took the concept up with some friends
To a parade, yeah.
to a boat parade in Clearwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's so funny.
funny.
The Don Caesar. Cesar.
Cesar.
Don Caesar.
I like the Don Caesar better.
Yeah.
I'm getting
And,
some work done this week, which has been great. It's nice to be able to pull these shades down and knock the glare out so I can see. Makes for a great office.
There you go. Well, we're gonna have a lot of editing sitting here at this table
Yes,
in the
I
near
will.
future. So.
Like my footstool?
Oh, look at that. Footstool is oh, let's see. What do we got here? We got some diamond, 80-pound mono. There you go. Diamond monofilament. If you watch this, please sponsor us.
You make a good footstool.
Don't it make you feel good? Thinking something real good. Baby's coming round the bend.
What an experience this has been.
It has been an experience. And the last couple days have put us a bit behind because of the storm and losing the engine, the prop on the engine. So yeah, it's exciting to see a Skyway and be so close to home. It's been a long journey.
It has been a long journey, and so thankful for Jorgen and Jeff. I mean, just without the two of them, this would have been a very, very difficult, if not impossible, trip for us.
Yeah.
Just buying a boat that you've never experienced and saying, "Hey, let's take it 800 miles across the Gulf of Mexico." The first week of hurricane season started today.
Yeah. June 1.
So, yeah, it's we've been dodging storms the last 2 days, like it is hurricane season.
Yeah, Jeff and I were learning how to sail the thing last night at about
3 o'clock in the morning.
4 in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning,
And
just pulling on some ropes, huh?
Yeah, we were trying to figure this thing out. Yeah, we had a late night last night. You passed out on us, and Jeff came to the helm and sat by me until 4:30 when Jorgen woke up, and we were rocking all over the place. I could not sleep,
So Captain Jorgen keeps he keeps messing with Jeff because Jeff is now purposely calling the lines ropes, which is obviously a sailor's no-no. But it's funny. It's been pretty comical for us to kind of dig on each other. And
yeah, there's nothing else to do.
No, there's nothing else to do, and the trip has been really, really good. I mean, obviously we've had some setbacks here and there, but I can't imagine any 800-mile delivery that wouldn't have any setbacks for a brand new boat for us.